Today I'm gonna show you how to overload your functions. Basically, it kind of works. So how to overload your functions with C macro tricks, as you can see. So our goal in this video is gonna be very simple, to overload these functions based on the number of arguments it has using the C macro. So let's get to it. I hope it's gonna be pretty So after a lot of tinkering with the macros, I've got to this conclusion that now it kind of works, and I'm not gonna be able to show you hands-on because I don't have my two hands. So let's take a look at it. So overload, let's see. So as you can see, we have defined few macros numerically. So as in the OV0 with the parameter fn and variadic numbers of parameters. So whatever the type of variables you want to give, then it joins your function name with a number that is unique to the function. So function 0, so if you have no arguments, it's gonna be 0, and 1 if you have one argument, two argument, and so on. And the magic comes where we have defined OVN, that's gonna be n number of numbers. Now we have 5 numbers here, and it's gonna join OV literal with n variable. So it's either gonna be OV0, 1, and what happens is that when you call this OV function with VA args and give the default number, so my default number of parameters, what happens is that as you add your arguments, the array of numbers, parameters, are gonna be shifted left. So it's gonna be 1 if there is one argument, 2 if 2 argument, 3 if 3 arguments, and so on and so forth. And then it's gonna pass the variable arguments that you gave originally to the function overload. So what happens is that when you overload this, or let's say you overload function, so let's go to the demo real quick. Let's say we don't give any arguments to the function, right? And we have created a stringify to basically turn anything you give as tokens as a function, and they overload anything, and the overload function is going to function like macro is going to expand to the definition of the function itself. So let's see what's the definition of this. So let's compile it, and I haven't included stdio, that's why it's giving you the warning message. Anyway, it's gonna do what. So yeah, so an overload function, right? Overload function, and let's compile it now, and we see that it's function 0. If you define it as such this way, the thing's gonna look like that. So if we have one argument to this function, let's say the argument in it x, or okay, why it's x3, and it's function 1 init x. If you give it, let's say, init pointer, the function 2 is init x and init pointer. As you can see, different from the function 1, it's going to be function 2, and so on and so forth. And to show you why there is VA opt, so that's basically the video actually. If you just copy this and paste it into, you can also have it as a header file. So let's say it's header begin and header end. And the name of the header is gonna be, let's say, overload.h, right? So short for overload.h. So you can import that, and now you can use your definitions like so. And the compiler is gonna compile just fine, even no warning if we cancel printf. If you give it all, yeah, because it doesn't have any returns, so you get the basic idea what I'm going to say. Alright, so let's convert init to void. Let's substitute it to void. And now it's not gonna give you any what? Oh, damn, it's all void now. So yeah, this is gonna end with no warning whatsoever. So if you want to stick more and learn why the things are the way they are, I'm gonna show you why we need VA opt VA opt along with VA opt as the beginning of the function. So if we omit VA opt, let's comment it out. Now what you may wonder, so what's gonna happen, you may wonder. So let's see. Now if we have one number of parameter in your function, oops, so let's say you have one single, so guess what's the name of the function, actual function that is going to be linked is going to be. So let's compile it and run it. Oh, what? It didn't compile, I guess. Oh. Ooh! Alright, so let's compile it and see what Alright, let's comment this all out. And let's see what's that about. Out is function 0, but shouldn't it be when there is no arguments? Let's see, let's give it no arguments. Let's give it 0 arguments and let's see the results. Still function 0. Now you see, that's the point of VA opt. It's gonna omit any commas if there are no arguments to VA args. So let's put it back in again and let's see. It's function 0, but let's give it 1 argument. Let's say int x, right? Generic argument. And see, it's function 1 now. So that's basically the point of, and you can do it even better. Let's comment this shit out. Let's comment this shit out and look at this definition. So let's say we have OV, our new one. So how is that different from overload? See, I'm not gonna be using these definitions here. All I'm gonna be doing is that I'm gonna put the fn right at the first argument of the function, so it's gonna join. So our define ovn, so this function right here, this macro, instead of this we have a first argument and we are gonna join these two together as we did for the other functions. So fn, the join this. Good. Now let's call ovn and instead, and let's rename it overload. And let's see what happens. The results are the same or not. Oops. Let's see if it's the same. Yes, good to go. Now let's say you have two variables, right? Yeah, function 2, that's pretty expected behavior. So I guess that is it from today, and I'm gonna be showing you a lot of walkthroughs if my hand heals pretty quickly as it's supposed to be, but I don't know. Now for now the tutorials are gonna be lousy and drowsy and whatever those things are. So